Hello, football fans. Well, the first week of the season has come and gone, and it started off crazy with the Eagles hosting the Cowboys. Eagles raised their banners, their second banner, and showed off their trophy as they prepared to host the Cowboys, who were coming off losing this Micah Parsons guy, whoever he is. Wonder where he went. But yeah, the game was close to a lot of people thought. A lot of people had the Cowboys just getting flattened, but that didn't really happen. It was a game that involved some saliva, 6 seconds into the game, and the weather delay. But the Eagles ended up winning 24-20, and all was pretty much well. And then we had the Sao Paulo game a day later, the second annual Brazil game. It was Kansas City and the Chargers dominated and won it. It was, ooh boy, it was amazing. It was pretty great too. The Chiefs, who lost all of 2 games all of last year, are one down. Even crazier, it's a division game. Ooh boy, and yeah, so the reactions are coming in. This is going to be a bad start this is going to be a bad start for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to start at least 1-3 because they got a tough schedule to start the season. But let's just bask in the glow that the Chargers won this. It was absolutely amazing. Regarding Sunday's early window, the main talk during that group was, guess who's back? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers' official Steelers debut, and against the team he last played with / held under his thumb, the Jets at MetLife. They let him have it too, rightfully so, because like I said, Rodgers just basically tried to turn the team into his own playground of personal connections and power trips and all else. Of course, if you ask him, I don't know where they get this idea that I have all this power. Maybe because you got the coach fired. Or how about that? But yeah. So it was a wild game. I mean, a wild game. It was back and forth. It was high scoring, and Rodgers had to pull out prime Rodgers that we Packer fans have seen for years. So he pulled it out, and they beat the Jets barely, 34-32. But the Jets, they really showed some life. This was their first game under new head coach Aaron Glenn, and even though he's a defensive-minded coach, the offense really lit up. Could this be the beginning of something good for the Jets finally? That's kind of an overreaction, but who knows? I just want to talk about this. If you had Joe Burrow starting for you in fantasy, oh boy. Here's the thing. I was down when I didn't have Joe Burrow at all in fantasy last year. I wanted to have Joe Burrow. I had Jamar Chase, but that was only one league. This year I got him. I had him in a bunch of leagues. I had Jamar Chase a few leagues. I went, ooh, they're going to tear it up. 8 fantasy points, 8.8, I think 2 fantasy points from Burrow on Sunday. And Chase had 2 receptions for about 27 yards. That was it. Underperforming numbers, but for the bright side for the Bengals, at least they won in Week 1, which doesn't seem to happen for them. Remember last year that embarrassing loss at home to of all teams, New England. But yeah, Burrow and Chase didn't have it, but that's not going to last. They're going to tear it up. They're going to tear it up later this season. So relax. This is just a blip. I think this is a case of the Bengals kind of playing down the competition, but when the season progresses, those Burrow and Chase numbers will definitely show up. And then there's the afternoon, the later half. Now, what was the highlight of that later half? What was it? The Niners, they beat the Seahawks, and they lost a few people via injury. Was that the highlight? Nah, I don't think so. Oh, Cam Ward, no one draft pick. No one draft pick overall made his debut. Nearly won. Is that the highlight? No. Okay, let me think. Oh, I got it. The Rams. The Rams had that good goal scoring game against the Texans, 14-9. The defense came through. Was that the highlight of the later half of the late games? It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't those three. What was it? It couldn't have been Packers game, right? I mean, it couldn't have been Micah Parsons making his Packers debut and getting a sack on Goff and causing Goff to throw an interception, could it? And it certainly couldn't have been the Packers getting a big statement win over a Lions team who, A, lost twice all year last year, and B, have been kind of plaguing the Packers ever since Dan Campbell became their coach. That couldn't be it, could it? It is? Well, I guess it was. And I guess there's a reason why the smile on my face needs to be chiseled off. Oh, man. What a game, huh? Micah Parsons beat the Lions, dominated them. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Before I continue, I want to mention the link above. I want to mention this. I usually mention save to the end, but the link above, that's my story on Vocal about week 1. However, if you go to that link, you will also find other stories I wrote involving week 1. I wrote. If you go to that link, you will see a story I wrote about recapping the first 2 games, that opening game between the Eagles and Cowboys, and the Brazil game between the Chargers and Chiefs. You will also find my story about week 1 of the first Sunday night game, that classic between the Bills and the Ravens. My goodness, that's game of the season right there. It's only week 1, 41-40. Ravens had it up 15, and the Bills pulled off that comeback. Josh Allen showed, really, I'll just say it, he really did show why he was the MVP, but he needs to do that when it counts, is my thing. But so those stories are also featured in that link above, so check them all out when you can. But Monday night, J.J. McCarthy took center stage, finally making a start for the Vikings against the Bears, and the Bears looked like they were going to win this until they didn't. They coughed up in the fourth quarter because that's what the Bears do. And it turned into a 27-24, sorry, I'm a bit overexcited. 27-24 victory for the Vikings over the Bears in the other NFC North battle. So, yeah, that was Ben Johnson's head coaching debut. Of course, Ben Johnson, they got him from the Lions. He was Dan Campbell's offensive coordinator. So the three main heads from that Lions staff, all head coaches, all lost. Campbell, Glenn, and Johnson all lost. But it's only week 1. The overreaction is going to come, but yeah, the Vikings took care of business. A good comeback, not exactly like Sunday Night Football, but it was pretty something. And that's week 1, and here's week 2's schedule. It starts Thursday with the Packers opening week 2 against the Commanders. And as far as a few select games, you have a big NFC North battle between the Bears and the Lions, and that's must win already in week 2, because whoever loses that game will not only be 0-2 overall, they'll be 0-2 in the conference and in the division. So it's a must win game for the Lions and Bears. The game of the week is the Fox game at 4:25 Eastern, 1:25 Pacific. Super Bowl rematch, Eagles Chiefs at Arrowhead. That's on Fox nationally. Sunday Night Football is Falcons and Vikings, and Monday night it's a doubleheader. Bucks, Texans, Chargers, Raiders. So that is my recap of week 1. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. If you want more, if you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. Again, the link, that's my week 1. That's my week 1 story. It also involves my other 2 stories connected to the week 1. Check them out. And regarding the NFL, I'll be back this time next week to recap week 2. So stay tuned.